Hello, anglers. Welcome to the Anglers 48 show. This is the first episode on the show, and thank you for tuning in. I created this podcast so that I can just relay information and talk about certain things that I may not be able to put up on my regular channel. Today is Saturday. I wasn't able to get out on the water, which is fine. Beautiful Saturday morning. Beautiful Saturday. In essence, no wind whatsoever. Still, temperatures are, up there in the 100 plus. Sometimes not ideal to be out there. Especially alone and without water. So thank you for joining us. I've been meaning to create a podcast for some time already. In my podcast, the way it's going to be is I'm going to try to do at least one podcast a week, hopefully 2 podcasts as we go forward. Being that time allows, I'm going to be discussing what's going on with Anglers 48, and I'll be talking about certain things like mishaps, tracker. I'm going to be talking about the tracker today, certain key spots that I may disclose to the people tuning in, and other stuff, tutorials. I'll be talking about tutorials as well. Many things that may come up. If you have any suggestions, please put them in the comments section. Tony, he didn't go fishing either. We decided to take a break. First of all, let's go ahead and get to it, guys. Thanks once again for joining. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please head on over to YouTube, click Anglers 48, and I provide a lot of inshore wade, kayak, and boating adventures. Mostly, I target red, trout, flounder. It's been a long time since I've tried to hit snook and black drum. For the most part, those end up catching themselves, if you will. Now, I wanted to start off with what's going on with the tracker. This is basically the 5th time that I've taken it out. The last time I took it out was last September, and that was the only time the whole year that I took it out. This year I've only taken it out again that one time this past weekend, and I did the reviews on the tracker, and I haven't done the reviews on it, but I did want to mention that on the tracker here, 3 of the seats have broken off. Not very happy on that. On my last fishing trip, once again, just by simply, sitting and pushing back a little bit, like a normal chair, the ends that attach the bottom with the top broke off, and the tracker is a 2022 model. Doesn't make any sense why that would happen so quickly. Tracker is always kept indoors, out of the elements. So I decided to call Bass Pro Shop, where I purchased it, and talked to a gentleman by the name of Jesse, and kind of told him the story of what's going on, and he told me to call back the next day and ask for a William. So I called William and talked to him, told him about what's going on, and conversation I had with this person named Jesse there, and he said that there's a recall on the seats, and somebody who had put a comment on my fishing video talked about recalls. Now I couldn't find anything as far as recalls online on the tracker, but they said that there is a recall, so it's a little bit sigh of relief. And this Jesse said that either they have them in stock or they have to order them. So this person, William, there at the Best Pro Shop in Harlingen, he said that they didn't have them in stock, and he put an order out for them. And being how things are, I hardly take it out, things of that nature. I told him that if he could hold them, so when I did have a chance, I could get out there. I did ask that I didn't want to wait weeks, months, for the seats to be put on, right? Not that I'm taking the tracker out every day, right? But I just don't want to be waiting for my tracker to, be someplace else. So in the initial phone call, Jesse said, "Nombre, bring it in, and we'll have somebody just put them right away." So I like that, and I'm gonna show you the seats right here. This is, first of all, this is one of the seats, and as you can see, the backrest is gone, it's missing, but it's right here. And these ends right there, these are the ones that broke off. Very flimsy, very, it's like if they just made the seats just to make them, right? And didn't focus too much on issuing a good product. I was really disappointed, man. I walked in there one day with my dad. We were looking at the boats, and we were talking, and he convinced me, motivated me to invest in a new boat, right, as opposed to a used boat. So right there and then, I purchased it. And this was a little bit after COVID. They didn't have any in stock. It had to be made. And I just went for it. And I went ahead and paid it off. You know what I mean? I wanted my boat. And took care of all that. And even with that, guys, as big of a purchase as it is, most people, they'll give you a pin, they'll give you a hat, they'll give you a mug, something to show their appreciation. They're like, "Sir, we don't have anything to give out. We don't give out anything." And man, that was a $20,000 boat, and I couldn't even get a cap out of it. In good faith, as far as, a year or two before that, I went to apply for credit. I didn't get the credit, but they gave me a thank you hat, one of those Bass Pro Shop hats. So I'm like, man, you get a hat for trying out to get a membership, but you don't get some type of appreciation. Anyway, that just didn't, it upset me a little bit. You give them a good purchase. Anyway, but yeah, so the seats are ordered. The order was placed on the seats. I don't plan on doing any fishing within the next month on the tracker. Hopefully next month, when the seats are here, I'll pick a date, go early in the morning, have them be put on. I'm hoping, I'm crossing my fingers that they're not just gonna give me the same ones, right? Because they're flimsy. If I would have had it out in the elements, can you imagine? But nonetheless, I'm glad. It's one of the things that when you purchase something, you got the warranties and things of that nature. So, but the tracker, it did really well out on the water. I was able to use the trolling motor edge for the first time, and I loved it. I loved it. What I didn't like so much is that you're having to pivot your foot back and forth, up and down, and it does wear on you a little bit, because you do have to apply a certain amount of pressure. So I did that. We tried different spots, and it just, catching was just, not in the cards. I went around Bird Island. I went to Green Island, tried some of the other spots, and we were fishing about maybe as shallow as a foot, right? I had picked up the motor, so we were doing really good. I adjusted the trolling motor, right? So it would be fine. There was no wind, so we couldn't drift. We couldn't take advantage of the drift, which is okay. But once again, it was beautiful. Just cruising the bay. I believe I used up maybe about 2 gallons of the 6 gallons. Moved around some, obviously. One day I do plan to go a little further, right? Use a trolling motor around some of the shores there on the bay, and hopefully one day get the guts to do an overnight fishing on the tracker. So that's what I'm doing right now. It does look a little shady when the seats aren't there, and I was looking at some of the seats, boat seats, online and at Academy, and even those look, a whole lot better than these right here. They look like they would withstand the test of time better than these right here. When I was out in the showroom that day with my father, I got on the show boat, the tracker that they had there, and moving the chairs back and forth, up and down, I could tell flimsy, right? But in my mind, I'm like, maybe that's just the way they look. Maybe that's not how they are. And no, here we are with these. So, and as far as the usage, if I use it maybe once a year, I really want to use it more than once a year, simply because I'm throwing money down the drain, paying close to $100 for the license plate. So that's just money sitting there, and I would pull it out, start it up, let it run for a good 20 minutes at the most, and then put it back in there. And but like I said, I may change my mind in the future, but for right now, this tracker won't make it to Port Mansfield. I'm sure there are many good spots out there for the tracker. But if Tony wants to take his boat, I'm usually the one driving it, right? And sometimes I kind of think, well, if I'm driving that one, why not drive this one, right? But once again, that's his. It's a little smaller. But mine, for the sake of just keeping my promise of not going back over there with my boat, will stay out of Port Mansfield. I'll save the Port Mansfield visits to my kayak, to wading, and to Tony's boat. So this is, once again, the other seat here on the driver's side. That's a driver's side seat. And look at that. That one broke off already. The other one is the backrest on the other one is completely it came off. So look at that right there. So no backrest there. And it just doesn't look right, you know, when you're out on the road and it's just, you know, missing pieces. So once again, hopefully we can get that taken care of. And on this podcast, I also, once again, I want to talk about things as a particular fishing spot, really dive into where exactly that fishing spot is, give you guys an opportunity to possibly fish that spot. Usually, sometimes, if you see where I'm at, you can kind of tell. I may not reveal it 100%, but you can kind of tell by the background and where I'm at, where that spot is, right? So if you can decode all that, but you found that spot. But normally I like to go miles away from town, all right? Because it's good when you're fishing around other anglers, but it's the best when you can cast. And for me, it's fan casting, right? I'm fan casting and I'm walking. I'm toting the kayak. Very rarely do you see me on the kayak, you know, casting around. Very rarely. Because the love that I have is picking a particular area, staying close to the shore, and doing that. On this tracker here, I want to see if I can do, because going back to when I was younger, the fishing that I used to do with my father, it was afternoon, it was closer to the evening and night fishing. That was the fishing that, I don't know how I ended up fishing in the morning. Maybe as I started getting into the fishing, I realized that the morning was better. But the fishing really, in my dad's eyes, it was in the evening and night. All right? Your dad, he's getting out for work, that type of thing, and then going. It would be 3:30, and I would see him getting ready, getting his stuff. And there I am, you know, in the way, and then he would be like, "Do you want to go?" And then I would go. So that's the kind of fishing that we used to do right back when I was younger. But I started telling Tony, "Hey Tony, what's the point of doing, like, let's say the fishing that my dad did, right? Taking off around 3:30, 4, By the time you get over there, by the time you get bait, by the time you set up, you're talking about maybe 6 o'clock, 6 something. You only have a few hours of daylight to fish. So we decided, hey, let's go a little earlier. Let's go a day before and have more fishing time. You know, do that fishing plus a little more. But in doing that, we have to, you know, we have to get our heads together. We have to talk about it. We gotta prepare. We gotta take the essentials. We don't just want to go on a limb like that. So we want to be able to do something like that with the tracker. And once again, preferably at the Y there in Arroyo City, or maybe Green Island. But sleeping, sometimes that gets, you know, that's a lot of the stuff that comes up. Do we go to fish or do we go to sleep? But if you have a busy night, right? If you have a busy night, a lot of fish action, there won't be any time to sleep, right? But if you're gonna go and it's gonna be slow, or there's gonna be just catfish, then I possibly won't sleep, right? I'll just maybe take a break, take a rest, have my poles ready. My friend Tony, sometimes he'll reel in his poles, right? Or he'll just conk out. And I'll be kind of like waking him up if I hear something. But that's the kind of fishing that hopefully we want to do later on. Now, keep in mind, the summer weather is still here, but it's getting to the point where we're going to have some nights where it starts to get a little chilly, right? You start getting that dew, and you start getting a little bit cold. So do we really want to be out there where we're not comfortable? So that's also. So I'm going to end this video here, guys. We're going to see what next week brings. Tony, he's been talking about getting his boat out. Excuse me. Getting his boat out there. Excuse me. We want to kind of take turns. Take mine, then take his, that type of thing. And then if we take our kayaks, there's going to be a pause in the boats, right? So he wants to be able to take his out and try certain spots. He's pushing me to go to Port Mansfield and maybe try those spots, excuse me, that we can't get to them on the kayak. And like I said, as much as I love the water, I'm terrified of it. So I don't want to put myself in a situation on the kayak where I'm going to have to call the Coast Guard or the game warden to come and rescue us. I don't want to do that. It would make for a good video, right? It would make for a good video, but don't want to do that. Don't want to put my friend at risk again. I almost lost him on a fishing trip. You may want to check that video out on YouTube at Anglers48. You know, it could have been bad, right? He fell right in the channel. I was pretty far away from him. I could see him in the water. The kayak was capsized, but I was going 2 miles an hour, completely loaded, packed. The camera wasn't rolling, all right? I wasn't gonna take the camera out of my bag. Wait, Tony, don't drown on me, buddy. Put it on. No, I wasn't gonna do that. I had already signed off. right? I had already closed, but yeah. Once again, guys, podcast. It's gonna be once a week. Sometimes twice a week, right? Depending on content, depending on different things that I want to talk about, stuff that I don't want to bore people with on my regular channels. We want to be able to pick those views up. That's what I've noticed. The views of people watching has gone down. Maybe I need to change certain things, right? Maybe make it shorter, maybe less narration, you know. And I love the way the videos are right now. I really get a joy narrating. I don't like to put a video up with no narration, right? Some people may enjoy that. Other people may say, hey, what bait are you using? What place is that? What lures are you using? What day is it? So, you know, that type of thing. If you have ideas of how to increase my views, right? Please put them in the comment section. I greatly appreciate you guys tuning in. I know that it's a little difficult. People are working, people are out with their families, and may not be able to tune in. But we'll see what happens. Once again, I'm gonna whatever content, whatever material I have that I want to be able to talk to you guys about. At least for right now, that's what I'm gonna talk about, like the seeds, right? The poor craftsmanship. So yeah. Until next time, guys. From Far Texas, here on the Anglers 48 show. You all be safe, and we'll catch you in the water. Thank you for joining us, guys.